So it's funny because you know you're an emotional game, and I found it odd that they got that wide open in the play, but there's nothing you can really, from our angle on the bench and the reviewing, like whether the puck's in the net. So the only way I can find out is I have to go back in the room and look at the tape. So you do, and then you have to face all of you 5 minutes after an emotional loss. And so I apologize, for last night, because that's what you get when you have to speak to the media right away. I don't know. What's great about today is that it's not yesterday, and now it's like I'm, got some excitement for Game 5, and that's where now my mind's turning on how to win that. Nothing we can do to turn back. They missed it. It's unfortunate, but it's water under the bridge now. Let's go get ready for. Should be a hell of a Game 5.
Coach, in general, is that something players do to try and get a little bit of an edge, get a jump?
What do you mean?
To get on the ice.
In the course of a hockey game, players, usually the guy going, actually I would say 99% of the time, the guy going on the ice jumps on first. That's why they have that little kind of safe zone, because there's only 2 doors and guys hop over, and so that happens all the time. It's when the reason there's a rule is when if you gain a significant advantage, and that's probably what happened there, but it's that happens all the time, and line changes. It's an inexact science. But you just, the purpose of the rule is not to gain an advantage. So, it's too bad.
Wait for the mic, please, Joe.
A lot of plays are reviewable. Do you think that's one should in the future?
Again, that is not for me. I explained it was emotional time last night, but I've moved on, and I don't know. I'd be really happy to talk about tomorrow night's game if anyone wants to talk about that.
I was going to ask just one more question.
Okay, let's hear.
Just the fact that you didn't see it in real time. I don't think any of us in the press room realized that it was too many until after.
Yeah.
Does that speak to just kind of how close of a play it was?
Yeah, but it's not your job to see it. True. So, anyway.
Good point.
Right here on the right.
Because there was from the emotions that you exhibited and some of the players, it almost had the feeling that the series was over. Now you say there's some excitement from you. Do you sense that from your team as well?
I do. Again, it's you're riding 10 minutes or after a game. You're not clicking your heels saying, "Oh, I can't wait for 48 hours from now." You do get a little time to digest what just happened, because you're pretty invested, and you're putting your heart and soul not just in yesterday's game. You're putting in 9 months of training camp and regular season and playoffs and ups and downs and all the things that go with it. So, hey, give the guys a little chance to have some emotions, and then sit here and say, okay, well, what happened in the game? You know what? Really good chance we could have won that game in regulation. We felt pretty damn good about ourselves. Did they get the better of us in overtime? There's no question they did. But this is a game of breaks. And oftentimes you make them, and sometimes you get them. And Colorado's up 3-1 in this series because they've made a lot of breaks. But you look at their goals last night, they scored. And McKinnon's, neither one of them touched a stick and went in the net. McKinnon didn't know where it was, went off his skate, rolled in, and the second one's going 6 feet wide and hits Cogliano's knee. But they made their breaks. Good on them. And that's what happens when you make them. And then, the game winner is a unfortunate non-call. That's how you get breaks. Listen, this is the king of getting them. I've gotten them, in teams I've had when we've won, or had leads in games or won championships. You get those. But what comes around goes around. Eventually, we'll make ours and we'll get ours and stuff like that. But it's the way the game is, and you can't pout about it. That's why you turn the page, move on, and let's go. So the mountain's a little bit higher. At least we're still climbing. We're not out. And hey, 3-1, 3-2 to Toronto. What the hell's the difference? We still have to go on the road and win a hockey game. We were going to have to win a game on the road regardless. We didn't have home ice. So why not tomorrow?
Mary?
Jon, obviously Eric leaves and you're forced to play with 5D. How did you feel that group adjusted, especially in extended overtime?
They did great, but that's the part that hurts is when you lose a D and a significant player in our team. As the game is drawn on, just the minutes are piling up. But our guys did great. It's like I said, we were one short. Let's try not to be one short tomorrow night.
Do you have an update on him for tomorrow?
I do not. No. Is that,
Jon, behind you.
this is tough.
Just you have a very proud team in this situation. Does that come into play? You've done a lot. You've experienced a lot. Does that come into play when you're in a situation like this? The pride of this team.
What do you mean? Like
Just your pride. You're aiming.
Well, we have a proud group because that's why we're in our third straight final, and it takes more than talent alone to get where we are and do what this group of players has done, and pride is a big part of it. But listen, we're still kicking, so let's our pride will kick in again. But like I said, this group is much more than just a bunch of talented hockey players.
Last question, Joe?
Did Cirelli come out of that game okay, where he could probably play?
Again, we'll see. This is quick turnaround, and so I haven't seen Tony. I'll have an update for you tomorrow, though.
Is Point an option? I know you said he hasn't been ruled out for this.
Again, let's circle back about that tomorrow.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay. Yep.